Hi and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing the Expanse today. So, first episode of season 2. We finished, of course, season 1, and as you all saw, our silent reaction to episode 10. But now it's episode 1 of season 2 called Safe.
And it's working.
And yeah, and the mic should be working. Yeah. Let's not have that happen again. Okay, where did we leave off? We got the crew. They got off arrows, as we discussed at the end of the last one. And they are hopefully getting cured for this radiation sickness they got in them. And yeah, a lot of unanswered questions still. A lot of questions about this... entity thing, the proto-molecule, and their testing on arrows, who's behind it, all that. But shall we just jump straight into it? Yep. Let's do it. Season 2.
No shots in here! We just if we don't move!
Action.
No more next runs, Gunny. They're shipping out. Rumor is you're heading to Phoebe Station, so say your goodbyes and kiss your mommies. It's gonna be a long trip.
Reminds me a little bit of N7 ammo.
Their heritage will still be there when we get back.
Damn right it will, Travis.
Doesn't it?
Make terraformers repair.
If you mix it with the Fallout
Oh, power ammo?
power.
Roger that, Gunny.
Someday.
What it could look like. There was way more blue there.
Yep, and it was kind of crawling.
Tentacly and yeah, looks like the nice little detail.
Maybe you'll develop superpowers that you can use. That'd be perfect for you.
Space Hulk.
It's like
Yep.
And whatever's in there will belong to Fred Johnson.
Roger that, boss.
Oh, it's that thing they got.
The Anubis crew put in there. That safe is designed to protect the hell out of it.
You okay?
I need to pee.
I'm peeing right now. Perks of a vac suit.
I'm peeing right now.
That's a cryogenic chamber at the core,
It's losing power.
which also means whatever it was freezing is going to become.
Unfrozen.
There you go. Clean as a whistle.
We should go back. Whatever happened, maybe he's over now. Maybe some still left alive.
Don't think anyone can go back there. Oh. It's got a beard.
I never did say it, but thanks. For getting me off arrows, so I wouldn't have made it without you.
Thanks for the lift. And the cancer.
Hello? Hello? Hold on, I can't hear you.
We have Archangel. Archangel is not on the vehicle.
Shit.
Proto-molecule. They gave the goddamn thing a name.
Station's where it all started. These must be the Martians that Lopez told you about.
They were infected on purpose. These are lab notes.
No way to send a protomolecule to our solar system. It begs the question, sent by whom? And why?
First proof of extraterrestrial life.
And it's just more fucking death. They already know that you picked up their scent.
We're not going in blind. Tycho first.
Cap's right.
Nobody asked you, no Nick.
What did you call me? That seems unrealistic. When you're able to break a machine like that.
Expecting any UN elements?
We don't anticipate engagement.
Well, lucky for them, because there isn't a team on the ship that doesn't want payback for the Donny.
In any case,
She's very Australian.
Mm-hmm.
prep your teams. We will not be led into war on anyone's leash. And we've managed to avoid a shooting war with Earth up till now. That's our job.
All those resources to the military now. None of us will live to see an atmosphere over Mars.
That was the price.
But it's still worth fighting for.
My Julie. Even losing her was worth it. She's a sacred part of it now. So don't talk to me about sacrifice.
I do not like you, sir.
This will kill any cancer that dares try to grow inside you.
How long I gotta wear this?
Rest of your days.
That we're all done being irradiated. I think I'm gonna go check out this famous coffee machine you keep talking about.
Other way.
Coffee. Famous. Yep.
Yep.
Your pal, Simi? You're upset about that, right? I had nothing against him. I thought he was a decent guy.
Decent guy.
Yeah. But Naomi made the call. End of story for me. And when your pal pulled a gun, might as well shot himself.
All right, here's what I say.
It's just so black and white for Amos.
Because you're poisoning the air.
Yeah. I was just about to, like, you can't even.
Oh, he's such a beast.
Yeah. Okay. Amos, we get it.
Amos! Stop it.
That was close.
Yeah, he was just, like a second or two from snapping his neck.
Sir, we're the most powerful nation in the system. We need to act like that.
Pride isn't power.
And what vast font of battlefield wisdom are you drawing from, Admiral? I advise that we deploy our fleet to secure any base that might become a Martian foothold.
Listen to the Admiral, guys.
You concur.
I do.
He probably has to.
Yeah.
Redeploy the fleet.
Oh, she knows it's the wrong decision.
Am I bothering you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing with you and Amos.
Pretty sure he's not your fella, right?
Timber was a good man.
It's more like your kid, 200-pound homicidal kid.
Caught in a terrible moment, and he did what he thought he had to. So did Amos.
You're kind of like his guide star, right?
Like Julie is to you.
I never met her. I only saw her that one time. I used to be a lot better at losing.
Then we need to stick together. Yum thing.
The UN and Nathan Hale is on a
It's
direct
like they're
course to Phoebe Station.
getting along at
When we
least.
accelerated, they crashed. And now the Nathan Hale is burning us.
But command was unequivocal. Under no circumstances are we to allow Phoebe to fall under UN control.
Who are we? I can't hear you! Who are we?
She's so intense.
A little theater to buy some time. I'm being set up. When my investigation dead ends, I'll make an excellent scapegoat.
Yeah.
Undersecretary Ehrenreich.
Christ.
I assume others.
Do they suspect you?
If they did, I'd be dead already. I need a spy. Are you in or out?
We're the only ones who know what's going on down there. The only ones with a chance to stop it. Tell me that you're okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah. There it was. There it was.
Oh, okay.
It was very explicit.
As we speak, the Martians could be preparing a strike all over the system.
Have any of their other ships changed course or launched or done anything provocative?
Madam, by the time you see it on that display, it will be too
I know how the fucking thing works.
Wise thing to do right now is to target the MCRN fleet system-wide.
Mars isn't stupid enough to start a war that will end civilization over a rat hole like Phoebe.
We'll hold until we hear from the Hale.
The Martians were targeting Phoebe Research Station, which sustained multiple direct hits. It's completely gone.
That worked out very well for Enright.
Mm-hmm.
And Mao. Why did Mars fire on Phoebe though? Weren't they going to investigate?
I still owe you one, don't I?
Goodbye, Simi.
Thinking, how often do we all just hang out together?
Aw,
and
Alex.
just talk, you know, without work. No, without work. So I'm thinking to myself.
I made you dinner.
Voila! That's lasagna.
It's voila.
Viola.
Viola. Voila.
You know, I remember a time in a series when there was real cheese.
They busted that black market curd cartel on 9th level.
Real cheddar.
Curd cartel? What?
I busted that cartel. Yeah, it was me and Star Helix. Whole shipment disappeared from the evidence lockup, that thing.
Or it just vanished.
Yeah, the security camera shorted out. What? Nobody saw nothing.
Share, please.
So the governor of Sirius gathers all the Star Helix cops together for an ass tearing. Meanwhile, whole room stinks like cheese farts. Teddy the detector, this guy was not. Who?
I think I'm too young.
Teddy the detector.
Oh, God damn, that was great cheese.
You're right.
At least they're bonding.
Earth knows the price of escalation as well as we do.
You said our job is to prevent a war with Earth. Ever wonder if we've got it backwards? Maybe we can't have the dream of Mars until we've had that war.
Alrighty, that was the first episode of season 2. What do we think about that so far? It's a interesting start. Like, it's even though I know I said or commented that the last episode, you know, the finale of season 1, it didn't really feel like a finale. This, to me, kind of felt like a season premiere, at least.
Yeah.
Especially because they introduced us to some new characters that we haven't been following at all up until this point. And I don't know, it just felt like just the vibe of the show, and it just felt like the Expanse 2.0.
Yeah.
In a way, like it I don't know if it's the production value, the fact that people, like, the actors are looking a little bit different. Just like Miller's got more of a beard, and I don't know. It just I could clearly feel that this is a new season.
Yeah, and I think that was very good. I think you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got introduced to some new characters, as I said.
Martians.
Some Martians. Some what it seems like very hardcore military type Martians. With one in particular seems like
Gunny?
they're focusing on her, Gunny.
Can I just say, I hate her.
I don't find her particular.
Well, not hate.
Right.
I just really, 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 really don't like her. I feel very strong aversion to her. She's
It's just the way that she's so intense and she's so stone faced and she has so much
Angry
bloodlust and she's just like she seems like she would be the worst at parties.
Well, it's just it feels like she's not. She's stuck on her own angry. She almost feels like a teenager, right? And she's so on cross, almost like she won't expand her horizons. She won't see it from other perspectives. Like, and I think their commander or what he was.
The bald guy. Who was
Yeah,
talking to her.
I loved him because he
he's
was
great.
very reasonable and he was like, we cannot risk another war and we shouldn't, and we believe in Earth and UN that they won't do the same to us, and we know what's at stake. We know what's at stake, both factions, and I don't know. He just seems like a very very wise guy. And we also saw a very wise guy in the UN as well.
Yeah.
Or at least a couple.
We saw a couple of them. That admiral that we've seen before, at least. And I was just about to say that as well. Like there were some characters that had that in common in this episode, that they don't want to risk this peace that they got going on at the moment, and they know that it's not in everybody's best interest to try to start a war. Why would we? Why would we do something like this? Why try to start a war over this research station on Phoebe? And I'm sure, of course, there's a lot more to it than that. But what these people that we do like have in common is at least that they do try to go the peaceful route, and they think a lot about, well, what would the other faction, what would the other part gain from this? Why would they try to start a war over this? It doesn't make sense. So we shouldn't either. We shouldn't be aggressive about it because there's no reason for them to be aggressive. So far they're close, but they haven't engaged in full on battle or war or anything yet.
And it's not like I don't understand her being very aggressive and very protective, and she's looking much to the future. And I think it's very much, if you think about it, they are often a little bit older, the wise people, and the younger generation are usually the
more brass and more like hot-headed and
and they have some very they have some ideals or some ideologies or some very some visions, some very great aspirations that they want to
which tend to be more black and white. Like, these are the bad guys, we are the good guys. We have to defeat the bad guys because we're the good guys.
And
simple as that.
I understand that because I've been a very rebellious teenager myself, so I understand the fire. I understand the wishing for another and the wanting to fight and really fight, like militantly fight for a better world, at least for myself. But it's just this anger is just it almost feels selfish and excessive almost.
It definitely comes from a place of like feeling that you've been dealt a bad hand in life, and being kind of cheated in a way, because that's at least what I got from what she said about Mars pooling all their resources and putting it into the military instead of terraforming. So they pushed the whole terraforming thing. They've kind of prolonged that whole process because they needed to focus on the military. And I can see why she would be like, if you guys hadn't done that, we would be living in peace and harmony on our green world right now. The terraforming would be perfect. But now I will never get to experience it because you had to focus on making me a soldier and a warrior from birth. And now you're telling me I can't even use that? I can't even do what I'm bred for. I can't even do what you made me into being. So you can kind of get that anger, but still, as you said, it seems like a little much, and it makes her
premature almost, right?
yeah, and it kind of makes her a not very likable character so far. So I know we're not gonna keep on just hammering
politics and everything.
yeah, and yeah, I'm sure there's way more to this character than meets the eye, and she's not just this one note character.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But we got some other stuff going on in this episode. Besides the whole Mars and Earth and politics and angry Martian soldiers and all that.
We got some angry Earthers and versus Spelters on the ship of Rocinante.
Yeah, we got a smaller, but nonetheless still a kind of a situation there. With Amos and Miller, and damn, Amos, he was just like 2 seconds from snapping Miller's neck or something right there.
Yeah.
If Naomi hadn't come along, and like she had to, it took a while before Amos kind of snapped out of it even. So
yeah, but there was somebody said in the comments that we should have in mind that Mills Belter and
and Amos is an Earther. So
there's a big difference in muscle density and bone density and muscle tone, and because they have he's just in general he's just strong, and he's strong. Both
he's strong and his body is in tip-top shape, and
it's a fucking wall,
and like working the way it should be working, whereas Miller, who's been living in Belter space and had that like the 0 G's, whatever it's done to him, and so he's
also very weak from the whole
so already there he's kind of at a disadvantage, and then you look at just never mind that they grew up different places and that affected their physicality and their bodies. Amos is just a bigger guy overall, and just probably has more of a mass and combat training and stuff like that. So it was kind of foolish that Miller he tried to punch him, but
he should have just stayed down. Really.
Yeah. As Amos said, I told him to stay down.
Yeah,
he didn't do what I said.
That's what Amos does, right? He's just a fucking killing machine, and he has his, as you said, he's very black and white. So
he has his moral code where it's like, if Naomi says this is okay, then it's okay. If she says do this, I'll do that, and I'll do it. And it's just she is, as they talked about, she is his
guiding light.
Yeah, his guiding light, his moral compass. Whereas Julie is more of Miller's guiding light, or she was, even though he never met her, and it's a bit of a different situation right there. But yeah, Amos is very simple-minded in that, as he it seems like he doesn't even really want to make decisions himself. He's just like, well, that's just the way it is. If you can't handle it, then I'm sorry, I just have to kill you, because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's doesn't seem like there's much of a thought process going on at all.
No, it's just he's
just doing it.
Yeah. It's a survival response.
Yeah. And they found in that safe on the Rocinante, they found some more of this proto-molecule, something that was obtained from Phoebe, I'm sure. They had it locked down, so now they got it out, the crew, and they chose to hide it somewhere at an abandoned asteroid mine or something. So that's probably gonna come back at some point, the fact that they've hidden it there. But really, otherwise, we just got a lot of bonding going on on the
Definitely.
ship, and some really intimate bonding there between
Yeah.
Holden and Naomi.
Very explicit.
Yes, that escalated quickly.
Well, we've seen it coming for some episodes at least.
Yeah, exactly. You could see that there was something there. They were kind of into each other at least, and now we got confirmation that.
Also,
yeah.
you can't just be around like women and men can't just be around each other for weeks on end in dangerous situations and without any real other company than each other for a very long time without there being some sort of attraction.
Some sort of attraction, some sort of intimacy at least, because that's something we all need at some stage.
We long for it because
exactly, and if you're, as you said, just with a small group of people and you're kind of in and out of dangerous situations and you're on a fucking spaceship in space where you never know if you're going to see the next day, yeah, sure, why not act on your impulses and
yeah,
stuff like that. So good for them.
Yeah,
that's nice. And then we got some dinner in the end.
Yeah,
Alex
that
made
was-
lasagna.
That was amazing.
That was great.
Yeah, I cried a little. It was Alex is such a father to the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I
He's
really
just,
like Alex. He's just growing more and more on me because he's
Yeah.
just a great character and yeah, as you said, kind of like father of the crew. In a way, even though Holden is in charge, but yeah.
But it's more like, or maybe it's more like a hyggeonkel. Like I don't know how to I can't translate it because it's hygge is a very Danish word. So he's sort of the like
The fun carry uncle
Yeah.
type, where he'll make sure that you're fed and that you're not in too much of a bad mood and everybody's doing all right and
get along.
you get along and yeah, all that good stuff. So so that was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice scene.
And the whole thing with the bonding thing. Now we're at with the bonding. Naomi and Miller, because they're probably they are the only belters in the crew. So they had a little bonding about being belters, and I just
and both having that in common we talked about before with the guiding light, where
and we
yeah.
get her situation explained, and we get Amos' personality explained a little bit more, and I think there was I just think there's such a warmness or like warm kindness to her, and she's growing a lot of me. I think she might actually go ahead and be my favorite character.
Yeah, and you could definitely feel a change in her in this episode, because she hasn't been this calming presence, and she have like in this episode in particular, she was very much holding the crew together and getting in there in situations and solving some stuff and being very calm and just a good presence for the rest of the crew. And she hasn't really fulfilled, or like that hasn't really been her role so far, at least not in the through season 1. I think there are a lot of situations where she just seems a little bit different now, I think.
Yeah, but it's also funny how we're supposed to think, or at least feel, or maybe it was the intention that Holden is kind of the captain of the crew and he's kind of the leader. But I've never felt any kind of real leadership from him, to be honest. I always felt like it was Naomi pulling the strings all along anyways. But
yeah, well, like people have been looking to him a lot for making decisions where he kind of had the last say in some of the situations, but then again there were also a lot of situations where it was more of a democracy, and I don't know, it's you're right, he hasn't really been like that captainy type sort of yet, at least. So yeah, do we have anything else for this episode?
I think I've forgotten.
You think, yeah.
If there were
if there were anything else. I'm sure there was, but we'll get into that next time. Certainly. Maybe. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you as soon as possible. Bye.
Bye.